and welcome back. This is module number 10, and in this module basically I'm going to finish up the course. So you will have 2 weeks that you will be able to ask questions, try new technology and apply the technology that we cover, and create something that is of your own, something that is important to you. When I'm talking about future web technology, there's a lot of things that needs to be taking place. I decided to focus on full stack, popular platform, and mobile web technology as my key components of my discussion, which means that the idea of full stack is the idea that running application on the same platform, the dashboard is basically the cover up of those applications, and some of them are being built, for example, with PHP or Java or any other platform. And the idea here is that we have front end and back end in order for us to apply that. A pure example of this application is a website that the hosting company that use this stack in order for us to do that. They provide us a lot of facilities to run a website. Example, FTP. It is different from the website, the interface. So the interface give you some clues how to apply that. It also give you access to the database with using of MySQL, and it provide you the ability to buy more domains or to set up your email or to apply other features that is really important that it can be account for in order for you to be successful. But the point that I'm trying to make is the idea that if you look at that application, you will see the back end and the front end where they're playing together in order for us to do that. The popular software and programming language in those two ends. The front end, usually when we are talking about front end, we are talking about HTML and Stylesheet. But we also talk about JavaScript, and there's a lot of adaptation to JavaScript that will run faster and allow better queries, and all those application or programming language help us to make the web move faster. I did not cover that. I do apologize, but if I would cover each of those long lists, I probably end up spending the entire year on covering each component. So instead, I focus on 3, the Stylesheet, the HTML, and the JavaScript. The backend usually is the PHP. PHP, as some of you already understand the idea behind the PHP. Yes, it is a programming language that displays the HTML, but it goes to that server. It has to have a server in order for it to run, and usually PHP runs quite well with MySQL. So that's why I chose this platform in order for you to do that. But there's other platforms, and Python is another one. I teach Python usually in the spring, and probably is also a popular platform that can be used in order for you to display a website. Popular stacks is usually the idea that allowed us to have background and application running on as a machine that we are able to do that. One of the most famous stacks is Ruby on Wheels, and it's usually based on JavaScript, and it has the support of SQLite and not MySQL, and it has the ability to run on a program called Rails. So this is the idea behind it, but one of the first application that came out in this idea of stacks is the LAMP. And the LAMP usually is something that is most common. One of the development of the LAMP is the website that you've been using and trying to figure out how to apply to it. This is the idea of it. And so this is a great video by Randy Hott, and he displayed it and explained it quite well, and I highly recommend that you will use it. Roby and Well is another application, and it was licensed at MIT. We will see two other different applications that was created at MIT, and it is again the idea of running a server that has more facilities than just a website with a database. It has the ability to develop and add on to its application and to the user. So this is again two videos that are quite well, and it's really, I highly recommend that you will watch it. This is a good introduction to Ruby on Rails. It will give you basic understanding what it has and what it offers. Another platform that is really popular is Laravel, and it is also PHP web frameworks, and it is often used to develop a new model or application using it. So this is the website. They are also help to customize much better than when you are running on Linux or any other application or server. This application is really easy to use, and it's really open techniques that allowed the users to develop and to apply. Just a note, Pinterest, in the first phase of Pinterest, used this platform to display the images. That was a big project that they faced, and how to display those images. This is how the platform that they apply. Another one developed by Google is the idea of open source ability to display also with mobile phone, and this is developed by Google, and this is the one of the popular platform with it. Again, it's you to have to decide what platform you want to support. You cannot have all the platform working together. You need to choose one platform and then adopt or extend the ability of the platform in order for you to do that. But the biggest issue, and nowadays it's becoming an issue, is the web development for mobile phones. You need to design for the mobile phones, which means the graphic display. How do we do with working with touch screens? This is another area of development, and optimizing images and mobile API. And I will talk about that, but this is something that all of us encounter. All of us have a phone. Usually we are trying to browse the web, and most of the website does not fit well with that. So the issue of designing for mobile devices is critical. And one of the recommendations based on the leading professional is to use the idea of style sheet, fluid style sheets layouts, which will make the adaptation to a mobile phone more easy. So they use the style sheet and they apply it to the fullest in order for it to apply capture and be able to display it in a mobile situation or a mobile screen. And working with touch screen is also a big issue, and it's usually work with the idea of a tone, and the idea of touching. It is the idea of what you need to do in order for it to react. And so I highly recommend to read Design for Touch by Creative Blog Stuff in 2012. even though it's not updated since then, but it still gives you some perspective. What does it need to be done in order for you to add the ability of touch, in order for you to display or to interact? The biggest issue probably was the optimization of the images. And again, the style sheet is the key component of it. And you can do that to sort the website and to sort all the display of the image using the style sheet. And if you are in the directions of want to develop for the web, you need to be a master of the style sheet. You need to know how to customize it, and you can do with using technology to detect what is the user coming from and what display he has, in order for you to adjust it and to optimize the images that it will have a clear vision of the website itself. The last issue is the mobile API, and Google has been talking about that non-stop, and it's the idea of application program interface, and it is the technical development environment that enable to access the party's application platform, which means that everyone has its own recommendation. Google has its own API, Netscape has its own API, and so the issue of displaying it is part of the debate, and the issue of how do we apply the API to a mobile is an issue by itself, and it's been ongoing process that needs to, if you are into the technology, I highly recommend you to look at that. So what is the future of technology is the title of my presentation. It is an open question, and it depends who you ask. And what will be the platform we are going to communicate to the web? Is it going to be the desktop or the laptop, or is it going to be a mobile phone will take over? This is an issue that is being discussed, and there is no one solution to it. So one of the problems we are facing is the social media. I have family that always complain that when they're using the mobile phone, they are not, the social media does not display so well. So again, the issue of platform. Are you going to have a computer in order for you to see the social media, or the phone is good enough? And is the social media platform, is it designed for desktop or is it designed for mobile phone? And this is an ongoing issue, and I think this is, if you will catch the right phase of it, you will see how companies decided to take one term to another in order for them to capture their audience into it. So for me, the question that I'm always concerned, and that is open source versus cloud computing. We are still in the world of cloud computing. Everything nowadays go to the cloud. We are saving our files, reading our emails. Microsoft also offers us cloud computing. Even Adobe offers us cloud computing in order for us to run Photoshop or Illustrator. So the issue that I am really concerned, and this is something that's been discussed also in the academic world, but also in the business world, open source versus cloud computing, because the issue of who is going to profit and who is going to lose with that regard. And as we can see, some of you already watched Apple conference that happened yesterday, and so this week, and so the issue of a robot generate content is part of it. And so we are now in the age of a robot that generate the content, and so what is our role and how can we customize it to fit everyone else? So those are the subjects that the future technology needs to be in there. This is exciting field, and I'm sure that if you are into technology, I think this is the right directions you need to take, and ask yourself those questions in order for you to have better sense what is your job and how to do it much better. So as I said, this is the last module. I just try to summarize everything in 16 slides, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the class. Next module, we are going to leave it as an open. You're going to ask your questions and I will answer it online. So you will have a module saying open discussion. And so you will be able to see what is the problems and how can I help you. I am available. I hope I'm helping to the people who have counter problems well. And so I hope you enjoyed working on the project. You have 2 weeks until then. So I hope you enjoy it. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me. Thank you.